And today I'm going to tell you a story. Today I'm going to tell you a story about biking across America in 1988. I was getting ready for the big trip, and for a whole year I spent planning. I was pretty nervous, so I packed my things, and my gear was around 100 pounds. Pretty heavy. So we started biking Pittsburgh, we went to various places. And before we started the trip, a lot of people gave us suggestions of places that we had to stop because they were great. So around 1987, so when we met one of the people whose house we were told to stop at, she had a photo album and it had various pictures of people who had stopped at her place and also biked across America. It was really inspiring. I didn't really expect it to be that hard, but we went up and down mountainous terrain for 33 miles all day. It was just very exhausting, going up and down the mountainous terrain. It was also very painful on my backside because of the seat, being on the seat for so long with the rocky path. During the trip, there were a lot of dogs who would try and follow us, and there was actually a Doberman who was on either side of me and my partner, and I saw the dog jump up and bite my friend. It was awful. So we rode together, and I remember when that dog was huge, it was very powerful. It completely stopped him while he was riding. There was a little baby Chihuahua who also kept trying to keep up with us. It was really adorable. So we went to Virginia. And there was so much traffic. Most of the people were respectful and would come off to the side. The cars were respectful and come off to the side for us. But sometimes dirt and rocks from the cars would fly off, and I would just have to deal with it. We stopped in Illinois, and in Missouri there was a terrible storm. It was horrible. I had never experienced something that bad. And for miles, I could not see. It was very foggy, and the rain was just coming right into my face. So I could not see anything. I couldn't see my partners. I couldn't tell if I was far behind. I was just soaking wet. So I had to pull over. And really, in Kansas City, that's actually my hometown, where we both grew up. So we stayed there for 5 days, different places around that area, campsites. Went to my old school as well. I gave like a tour of the town. We went to a police station and just various places around there. They were very beautiful, I thought. And the group of people that we went with, they all wanted to stop at their hometown as well, so we stopped there. And each place we went, I was introduced to the friends, and everyone was so friendly. They were giving us advice on which is the best and safest route to go to, or different places that we should see while we're in their town. And there's a lot of really friendly, helpful people in America. So that we were able to meet, and just trying to make sure that we were all right. So the area I grew up in, very hilly. There's a lot of hills in the area. For one part of the bike trip, it was completely flat. So for an hour, we could see the city in our sights because it was so flat. So for an hour, we could just watch it getting closer and closer to us. I mean, can you imagine that? And there was no wind. That whole time I was riding through, I felt really out of it. Because it was very hot outside, and without the wind to cool me off, I was just very exhausted. So I was riding along, and at one point I saw another rider, and she was obviously offended. So she went in front of me, gets off her bike, and starts yelling at me. And I can see she's obviously upset, and she's yelling. And I tried to explain to her that I was deaf. She's just yelling some more and pointing around, trying to explain what was going on. I guess I was blocking her, and she could not get around me for a while. And because I'm deaf, I did not know she was trying to get my attention. She was just trying to explain to me how to handle situations like that, and just rolling her eyes and being very aggressive with me. Well, it was really crazy. I was actually pretty scared. I never felt that way before. I'm just shocked the way she got off. She got back on her bike and rode away, and I thought, okay, fine. So for 2 nights we slept in a teepee. Really cool. And when we would tell people that we were going up and down the mountains on the route here, they just could not believe it. They felt like we were all so tough and strong, but I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Really beautiful sights. One of the people we were with didn't feel good, and on the last day we were biking, and I noticed something was kind of strange. I couldn't tell if we were going. Oh, that was the first time I was actually lost. We were going north for 3 hours. Oh man. I was asking different bikers if they knew where it was, and they're like, no, actually, you're going the wrong way. So we hitched a ride to get back on track. And that day, we did 30 miles. But yeah, 30 miles, it was a good accomplishment. Pretty cool. We went up and down mountains that varied in height. Some of them were up to 4,000 feet. And for 27 miles, we continued going down this zigzagged path. Sometimes we would stop and wait for everyone to catch up, make sure everyone was okay. For an hour, we would rest and eat, and after we were done, we would continue riding. We were just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for 2 hours, and we were worried because we thought something might have happened. So we were waiting for our whole group to get back. it's always important to listen to your body as well to make sure you don't overstress it. If you feel like you need to take a break, you should. So we took a ferry back, and we were finished. We were finally done, took off all my bags, and when I look back at the experience, it was really a crazy thing, because you think about where you started off and where you ended up. It's just, wow, truly amazing. At some points, I felt like I wanted more, and I wasn't satisfied. I wanted to continue. Altogether, it was around 4,000 miles that we biked.